Have you ever heard the term, the imagination is the devil's playground? Well, there's so much truth to the statement, especially when we don't have um, not too much positive going on around us, and we have so much negativity around us, coupled with the fact that we don't know or have anything to go against all these negative thoughts or all the negativity that's going on around us. So every day we have a civil war that's going on in our mind that nobody knows about. You may be doing fine, but the next person beside you might not be. And when fear sets in, that's a dangerous thing. When fear comes in and sets and makes its bed inside of your imagination just goes wild and you don't really have nothing to combat all the negative thoughts that is going around you, because if I can teach you to fear, I can control you. He who teaches people to fear will rule. It's a war tactic. The enemy tries to use this against his opposer, and it works. Um, Kings and rulers and emperors used to do this. If you don't do something that I want you to do, or if you don't bow to my image, I'm going to burn you alive in front of everybody. I'll pull you out and burn you alive in front of everybody. Slave owners used to do this. If the slaves didn't pick enough cotton, um, they would beat them out in front of everybody, or hang them, or pull out their teeth, or whatnot. Whatever kind of punishment they could think of, they would do it. The Germans used to do this also. They used to, with the Jews, and the Jews are not the only people um, that they ruled back then. When they would go into different countries, they would take out businessmen and hang them in front of the whole community so everybody can see it. Even the government, even the government has done it, and they do it too. Recently with the COVID-19, um, everybody went out and bought all the tissue off of the racks. They bought all the disinfectant, and because fear induces a panic. If I can spread fear, I can get you to panic, and I can get you to do whatever I want you to do. And fear is the root cause of anxiety. And all anxiety is constant, excessive worry about everyday problems. And now we have to medicate people because of they're constantly worrying about everyday problems. And it's all because of fear. That's it. And now we have to take medication just because we're afraid. Just for fear, we have to take medication. And it's been said that all of our um, all of our worries and our unhappinesses come from our imagination, not reality. That means we're sitting there thinking about stuff and we become afraid. The next time that you're sitting there and you may daydream about something, I want you to think about what you're actually thinking about. Just think about where your mind takes you, and remember that slogan per se, that they say that the devil is the imagination is the devil's playground, because your mind can take you somewhere where you have no control of, unless you have something to combat the negative thoughts that you have in your mind. So we have to understand that fear is not from God. Fear is not from God. Fear is from the devil, just like that saying. The imagination is the devil's playground. Fear is from the devil. It's not from God. So we have to understand that in every situation, if we know who God is a little bit, God will always tell us to fear not. Have no fear. Have no fear. I remember I would have to, you know, think about this myself, because my imagination would just take me places, and then I'm like, how did I even get here? Because my imagination just ran wild, just took a race car and just went somewhere I didn't want it to go. So one thing they tell you, they say, look at the law of averages. The law of averages will tell you that if you're scared of flying in an airplane, they say, what are the chances of a plane crashing? They say slim to none. They say you have a better chance of getting in a car crash than getting in a plane crash. That's the law of averages. You take the average of what are the chances of that happening. And then they say if you're scared of getting hit by a train or something like that, what are the chances of you getting hit by a train? Or what are the chances of you getting struck by lightning? What are the chances of whatever your fears, whatever your fears, what are the chances of that happening? That's what the law of averages say. And they say, think about the lesser, be scared of the lesser average, like getting cancer. They say your chance of getting cancer is a 1 out of 8 chance. So they say, be scared of getting cancer than getting in a plane crash. So what God tells us, the law of averages tells us to fear the lesser. God says, don't fear at all. Fear not. So how do we do that? The word says, be careful for nothing, but in everything, just pray about it. Pray about whatever the issue that you may be scared about or have fear about it, and give thanks to God in every situation. Um, and then it says, on purpose, think about things that are lovely, think about things that are good, things that have a good report, let your imagination take you to a good place on purpose. On purpose. Because if you don't, the devil will have a playground in your imagination. And that's not what we want to happen. Uh, God says he has not given us the spirit of fear. Fear is a spiritual force that has an effect on natural beings. You can't really see fear or touch it, but it still has an effect on my body, as we can see that so clear today. With all these pandemics, now they're saying that martial law is going to enforce that we take this vaccine. Be careful of that. Don't fear. God says no matter how big they are, how much better they are, don't fear. Have no fear. And the reason is because God has given you a sound mind. He has given you power, a sound mind, love. The word says God has not given us the spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. So just because you might be doing okay in a certain area of your life doesn't mean that the next person beside you, we don't know what everybody's going through, including myself. So I have to take this for myself and implement it and think good thoughts on purpose. This is just um, this is just a basic principle for with extraordinary results. I'll see y'all next time.